Hello guys, welcome back to Daily Entertainment Bars right here on Odatejish TV. Please, if you are new here, kindly subscribe to this channel and also click on the bell icon right next to the subscribe button. And also don't forget to also drop your comment in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up and also share this video with your friends and loved ones.
The big an international alcoholic, drink brand, and then with that as well, the marketing person I feel of the company was Nigerian, and he had seen me from social media or something, and he had been told about me by a colleague at the headquarters of the company. So he was, doing some research on me, like, oh, he thinks I look the part and stuff. But when they had a meeting, another girl at the meeting, a Ghanaian, was like, no, she's too controversial. But the thing is that, no problem if you don't understand me, but the thing about marketing and business is you actually need someone who's controversial. Or you need someone who makes people talk.
Yeah.
Yes, or someone who has an impact, someone who is influential. Because if you say I'm controversial, like, who have I harmed? Who have I insulted? Who have I hurt? So I feel like sometimes we just think of what our parents have taught us and accept it, but we don't think for ourselves, and we are not open enough to unlearn some things we've learned. I feel like we should start thinking for ourselves. And another example was another deal, but I got this eventually. Oh, and the reason I mentioned that the previous marketing manager was Nigerian, he was more like, sadly to say, he was more open-minded and more keen or eager to, like, he was even excited at the fact that they said I was controversial, but then everybody was against the idea, and it was just him and maybe someone else. I didn't even know this person from anywhere, And another time was when, this was for a product, which also I eventually got it because I met the main marketing person in person, and her assistant, who was a young girl, was like, oh no, apparently I'm indecent. And so I said, can I see the picture? Which made her say I'm an indecent person. And it was a photo in sportswear, so like swimwear with a jacket, and it was a photo shoot. So I was like, what's indecent about it? It's a photo shoot. I'm not walking into Asasi Radio wearing just panties and a bra or a swimsuit. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then the marketing lady met me personally. Was like, but it's not indecent. This is sportswear. This is like a swimwear photo shoot. Mm-hmm. I even had a jacket on. So these are just examples where people don't really understand you, but everyone is saying this. So they wouldn't think and get their own opinion. They also just jump on it. And I feel like, and then, this challenge is also from me, because if I was any other person, I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to stop this style of music where I sing about pure water, bola, sampanana, Ghana jollof, and then sing about the normal things like odo and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't, and it's still working for me. So even though I've been criticized, I've lost endorsement deals because of that. I've also got a lot of endorsement deals actually because of the way I am.
Okay.
So there was one toothpaste brand that I got called for at an agency. And when I went to the agency for the meeting and they showed me their PowerPoint presentation, it was me in lingerie hanging in a tree, me with like my butt cheeks out, me in like a bikini. And they used that to get the deal for me because the campaign was about being daring, being confident, being bold, being edgy, taking that risk. So what I'm trying to say is that once you are true to yourself and you are consistent at that, people will get to understand you. Consistency is key. Mm-hmm. Whatever you're doing, as long as you're not hurting people, you're not harming people, you're not miseducating, and you keep doing it, people will begin to accept you and understand you. So through that, I've been able to get other endorsement deals where the campaign represents or talks about someone, bubbly, jovial, daring, confident, things like that.
What would you say to people who say that, you know what, when you are like Sister Derby, everybody knows you have about 2.6 million followers on Instagram, and I don't know what your back end looks like, but you probably have more girls following you than boys and so on. It's
actually more men.
You have more men following you.
Sadly. Wait, is that sad? I don't know.
No, that's good.
No, I want to influence and touch girls because I want girls to empower themselves. I want girls to know that there's nothing wrong with being independent, and you can be independent. Okay. Things like that.
What is the? Let me just ask you this. What is the link between maybe your ability to be able to wear a swimsuit
Okay.
in a photo shoot
Okay.
and self-confidence.
I never said that though.
Okay, so you said earlier that, so for example, this photo shoot, this campaign for the toothpaste brand was like daring, confident, you should be all of those things. A lot of young girls nowadays, when we talk to young girls and say that, oh, you're growing, you need to be, I don't know, a good girl, in quote. The things that will criticize on your social media will be, oh, why are you in a swimsuit on your social media? I was actually in a meeting where they were teaching how to build your personal brand using your social media. And so this facilitator said, if you want to give you a job, we'll go on your social media, we'll go and see what's there. And if I go on your social media and all I'm seeing is your bikini pictures, today you're in this.
Someone actually said that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm seeing this, your bikini picture here, your bikini picture there. I'm not going to hire you. Okay? And then there was a question about the fact that, but it's my personal social media, I'm not putting it.
Do you know why the guy said he won't hire her?
Why?
Because he's imagining her in the bikini in the office and he cannot control himself. The thing will be tickling him, doing logoligi.
So
like
manual photography is here with us in the studios. So you think that
sorry, let me let you learn.
Things like that don't matter. Is it because you're a showbiz person? Or I mean, if you were a banker or you were
I won't say
a teacher
things.
and so on, you'd still have the same, thoughts.
Okay, so I won't say it's because I'm an artist. I was Deborah before I became an artist, and I've always been like this from childhood. I grew up in a home where my mother was very honest, very blunt, and gave me a lot of freedom. Okay, so that's just how I've been brought up. Now, I won't say it does affect because that's society, but it shouldn't, because it doesn't mean when I come to work I'm going to be wearing a crop top, or maybe I will be wearing a crop top. No. It doesn't mean, like, if I have a corporate job, even if I go for a meeting with, I wouldn't make people uncomfortable, but I'll make sure I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. No, you don't have to wear a bikini on social media to show you are confident. Hell no. When I say confident, if someone does something that upsets you, tell them right there and then, whether it's an older man or because he's a man. No, it's wrong. You need to speak up, stand up for yourself and correct the person. That is confidence. And confidence is also knowing your true self without apology, right? I know that's what they say, right? That kind of thing. And basically believing in yourself. Once you believe in yourself, you are happy with yourself, you get that kind of confidence. But it doesn't have to come from what you are wearing. No.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
My favorite thing about myself. What do you think? You cover your nose. You're smiling, laughing. The thing has stretched.
His face is very large.
No, we're all protected, so we're not giving him anything. No, his face. It's not large. No, it doesn't. I don't know what to say. I think I like the fact that it might not be my favorite thing because I can't remember everything now. But I'm able to detect some kind of wrong energies from far.
Okay.
And I just stay away from such stress or such people.
Okay. Now that's a superpower we all need. I'll tell you. When I first day I met you, you were in a red pencil dress and nude stilettos. And you walked into Chatterhouse and Papa said, oh, she's going to be the co-host for my Lighthouse. Like, oh my God, you should tell her to participate. She was like, no, do you know who she is? I said, no. She was like, do you know why she did my Lighthouse?
I remember that time.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Okay, so she can't be part. She said, no, she can't be part.
Yeah,
so she just be a host. Cool. I thought you looked like an absolute lady with your pencil dress. And
I almost dressed like that today, but I was like,
you had a bun. You had long hair at the time. You had a bun. I was like, oh my God, she's such a lady with your hand and your handbag. And the next thing I knew, you were doing Uncle Obama. It was like a totally different person.
Well, I almost dressed like that today, but I was like, Charlie, it's hot. Then I have to be balancing some style.
But you seem to have two very split personalities. I don't know how to describe.
Maybe even more than two.
Tell me about it.
I don't know.
Can you describe yourself to to someone who's hearing you for the first time. And also to people who see you on social media and they have only one perception of you on social media.
Oh.
I don't see your pencil dresses on social media. I don't see your nude makeup on social media. What I see on social media is your front side. That's all I see on social media. And when you were coming in, I was telling my crew that, look, Debbie's going to be on time because she's a very serious person.
If I didn't come on time.
I know, right? I was like, look, Debbie will be on time because she's a serious person.
Thank
so
you.
you guys, we're going to stream the Joe Biden thing. So let's make sure that we are not streaming. So I tell her not to come because she will be on time. And then they were like, oh really? Wow. And then a few minutes later he sent me a message where he was like, guys, she's here. Now that's a totally different side of you that we just see you happy, girly on social media. So tell us the various personalities that make up Debbie.
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I don't like talking about myself. You know I have to. I think I'm principled, and I don't like wasting my time. I like to be productive all the time. So even if I'm home on my phone, I'm always thinking of new ways to entertain, new ways to make money, and new ways to keep myself and putting money, even if it's not a lot of money, using time, resources, using people's time, energy, and talent, doing something and just leaving it there. So once I do it, I want to do it well, and I want to see it to the end. I remember one time my brother said in an interview that, even though he encouraged me to go into music and stuff, he mentioned to the host that one thing he likes about me is that I don't just, if they direct me to do something, I don't just do it and leave it there. I really push it. I take it seriously, promote it, and, basically,
you go all out.
I go all out. Exactly.
What are some of the misconceptions that people have about you? Things you hear about yourself and you're like, who, me?
What do I hear? Nothing serious. Or maybe I can't remember. I don't keep bad things in my head. I always delete them. But I don't know if this is one. They tell me I'm too old.
How old are you?
36.
You're not too old.
Yeah, because they say things like that because our society makes us think that if you're a certain age, you shouldn't do certain things. So it's just mind control. That's why I said earlier on, if you can't think for yourself, you're going to listen to what your teacher told you or your parents told you. You're not going to ask questions because growing up, we're not allowed to ask questions in our society. Am I lying?
Yeah,
as a child?
Yeah, you just say yes.
Which is wrong. So, you just agree or you just keep quiet. They tell you to shut up. So things like that. One, you're too old. I don't know. I don't really hear stuff.
Last time I heard, I think it was an interview. I think you did an interview with Delay. You spoke about how old you were, but it was in relation to your relationship with.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. The last time I had an interview with Delay was 2014, 2015.
I tell you what, when I was pregnant and bored, I was binge watching all of her interviews.
Okay.
So that I watched it not long ago. I think that was the last time I had a conversation on your age, how old you are, and how old whoever you're dating was, and so on. But I don't. That is
sorry.
Well, you're not. How old are you, Perfect? You're mid-40s, right? Mid-50s. Yeah, is it mid-40s or mid-50s? Mid-40s, so 49. Right. So
40 something, cry. You are young.
So I'll tell you one thing I hear about you.
Okay, tell me because I don't really hear enough. I say enough. Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. It's not a misconception.
Okay.
Well, you know when you say misconception, you think of negative things. But I hear you are extremely uptight. Like
extremely what?
Uptight. Like you're is it stern and
strict.
Or like strict. Difficult to work with, like you want something this way and that's it. Everybody else must get in line. Is that true about you?
That one, dear, you have to ask people. But if you're saying they say that, okay, so I think so. When it comes to my work,
music video.
Yeah. What's the name?
They said, Charlie, when she wants it this way, you just have to keep your ideas to yourself. Because this is how she wants it. That's okay. Well, she seems like someone who would actually listen. You seem like someone who's cool and will want to vibe and say, "Oh, really?"
It depends. It depends on the person.
Okay.
If they are creative and they've impressed me, and I see they like to think outside the box, yes. But if I feel you are afraid of something, they can't work on a set with me, because do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe with the videos, the thing is that with the music videos, I write my own concept. I have a synopsis ready. I do my own mood board. I do my own casting. Most of the time, I find the locations myself. I'm the production manager. So maybe I already have a way I want to do it. And if the idea coming on is not adding,
Mm-hmm.
or it's going to cause some confusion or setbacks, that's maybe when I'll be like, no. But if someone says I am strict, I think that's true. Yeah. It's good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
What's one thing about our music industry you wish you could change? Like, if there was something you could change about our industry, what would it be?
Something about our music industry, I feel like the women in the industry need to be given more coverage, more platforms. The female artists need to be given more concerts where, you know, we can headline. The concerts need to involve more women, or, you know, an equal number of women and guys. It's always guys. So I feel like we should, you know, appreciate the women more, and always remember that we shouldn't always be having a sausage fest. We should involve our female artists more.
Oh gosh, I get it.
He still hasn't got to it, right? He's pretending as if he has got to it.
So
Today I'm on your top. Let me.
Do you think we need some kind of affirmative action in the music industry for women?
Well, what I do is when I don't go to a lot of interviews, but a few interviews I have, I always talk about this. So I feel like other women artists, we shouldn't be attacking ourselves. We should rather be fighting for ourselves, and we should unite. As in, we should do more collaborations with each other. We should put ourselves out there more. You know, I find some girls, like, let's say, instead of just praising themselves and going, they use it to bash another girl, but that doesn't help you. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like we should collaborate more, and we should speak out. I'm someone who can call one of the male artists and say, hey, or their manager and say, hey, why? Your concert sausage song, why? Do you understand? Sometimes they don't think about it, so it's not out of malice.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't thought of it. Most of their friends are boys. So sometimes they don't think of the... Yeah, but it's not like it's intentional or something. So you need to bring people's minds to it. Mm-hmm. So we need to speak out. Don't be shy. You are not begging. No. If you believe in yourself and you know that, oh, you have the talent, say that, yo, I want to be on the one time on this thing, or get your manager to call their manager, mm-hmm. and remind them, because they are just used to being with the guys most of the time. Do you get what I'm saying? No matter what talent you have, sometimes they might just forget, because it's usually guys on the bill.
I've had this conversation had a few times, and then the argument is there are more male acts than female acts. And so naturally you lean more towards having more men than women, because the girls aren't so many.
Yeah,
that's
even
why they'll have 6 male acts and then 1 female act.
No, sometimes they have like 18 male acts and then no female at all, or one, and maybe she's a feature on one of the songs. Even if we have like 18 male acts, let's say we choose 10 really good ones. If we want 10 really good female artists, we'll get them from Ghana.
Can you mention 10 female acts off the top of your head?
Yes. Okay. So let's say Eno Baroni, Amare, Jackie,
Sister Derby.
What's the girl I did?
Okay, let me help. Miss V.
Take your time. Miss V. And then
Wendy Shay.
I'm trying to remember a name that I did a song with her. It's very important. Enam.
Okay.
How many have I mentioned?
We are on 6.
And then you said Wendy Shay.
Yeah, so
that's 6.
That's Tina Soul.
That's Tina Soul.
Efia 7.
Yes. Right now, I've left you to do the work for me.
So
Adina. Adina, exactly.
Oh my God, Adina.
And then, there's more.
There's Becca.
There's Viala.
There's Becca.
And then I was trying to remember like new ones. Califina. There's many girls. There's Ama Deva. There's Ohima Dadao. So yes, we do have, and they are all good.
So the reason I asked you to say this is because of the argument that we don't see the girls as often as we see the guys. Even though the girls are making very good music.
We have Frida Rhymes too.
Yes. The girls are making really good music. I recently heard a new song by the new girl on the Wendy Shay's
label.
There's a new girl.
Is it Miss Forsen or?
Okay, forgive me, I don't remember her name. But she has really good music, and I thought, okay, this is really great. When I hear pundits say that the girls, we don't hear of the girls enough, we don't see them promote themselves as much as the guys.
The girls do.
I say that who's supposed to promote them? We're supposed to promote them as much as we promote the guys.
The DJ.
So yeah, we're supposed to promote them as much as we promote the guys. So I agree with you, Debbie, on your point on the fact that we need to bring more girls in. So the girls are doing well,
and the girls are there.
We need to promote
If
them.
they say they are not making themselves visible, it's a lie.
So
That means they are not following them.
So you, Debbie, do you have any collaborations with girls?
Girl, you'll be surprised.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shame you and you and you right now.
Okay. You have
Okay, so
collaborations with girls.
last year I released an EP, the African Mermaid EP. My track 2 has Eno Baroni on it. It's called Time Be Money. Do you have Time Be Money?
Yeah.
You need to play that because I'm going to shoot the video soon. Now, did you hear me?
Yes.
Time Be Money track 2 has Eno Baroni on it. Okay. Track 3 is Somebody. I released all these last year.
Okay.
I even have a video for Somebody. It features Yakoto. She's a Ghanaian German singer-songwriter.
Okay.
That's a girl, of course. And then I have Atupa. It features Efia.
Oh.
I have Little Light. It features Ohima Dadao.
Okay.
I have Kanzu.
Okay, you answered.
It features Lapili.
Okay,
I have a lot of
you
girls.
answered my question.
My EP has just 7 songs and I have 5 girls on.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I would never practice preach what I don't
Preach what you
practice. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Let me read some of your messages coming in now.
Okay.
Hello, Na. I can tell how beautiful my sweetheart is looking, even with her mask on. Na, please tell the African mermaid that I love her so much. I'm not reading the rest of it. Now, it's not very easy for Trump, but Debbie should make a song for him. It will help his transition be a very smooth one. Now, this is from Nana Kantaba in a half one during the interview. Hello, Na. Trump is out. Yes, I know Trump is
That's
out.
innocent.
So today is the day that Trump leaves and what's his name? And Joe Biden comes in. Hello, Na. Please tell Sister Debbie I love her so much. Every controversy I hear about her actually makes me love her a little more. Okay, awesome. Oops, I lost it. Okay. Now, will she have a collaboration with Funny Things? Since she likes singing about creations and funny things.
Oh, I don't know. Anything can happen.
Now, please ask her about the second phase of COVID. I haven't heard her say anything about it. Does she have any advice for people?
If she's watching the live, she'll see the way I make wild with the mask.
Yes. Now, why the Kakalika song?
Oh, come on. Tell her it's old news. She should know.
Now, well, in the interest of being fair to our listeners, would you give her one line answer to?
So Kakalika
to answer
Love
the question?
was my narration last public relationship. You know, I said on TV that I was dating someone, and then when we broke up, I had to let my fans know the story, and I used my art, my music to tell the story. So Kakalika Love is about the breakup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, who is she dating now?
The person's father.
Hey, Jesus Christ. Why you like this? Okay, hello now. Please tell Debbie I love her so much.
I love you too.
I have a lot of those messages, by the way. Tell Debbie I love her so much.
No, we want the questions and the interesting ones. The JJJ ones.
Hello now. Please ask her again. I think she didn't hear your question. What's the most difficult thing for her in the industry? I think my question for you was...
the difficult thing I said, like the challenge is like people not really understanding.
Here too controversial.
Yes.
All right. Hello now. Please tell Debbie I love her so much. I watch her Instagram.
Please, more of them.
What do you say to people?
So, people who say, Sister Debbie, I want to be like you, like exactly like you. If I do respond, I say, then you have to be yourself. What makes me me?
Awesome.
Yes.
What advice would you give to young female acts coming out right now who see the industry, see the difficulties that you see, that, okay, if you're a guy in the industry, you have an upper hand because, you know, you get to be on the shows. And
Because we're in a patriarchal,
patriarchal society.
Patriarchal society.
But being a female act, a young female act, trying to break into the industry,
Okay.
what would you say to them?
Keep creating the music, and the main thing is to be true to yourself. What I mean is that don't copy a style that's there because you want the easy way out. It's like a formula. You know that, oh, if I do it this way, I'll hate, but maybe that's not your true style. Eventually, when your true style comes out, people would have associated you with that and won't understand, and you'd have even wasted your time. I feel like if you know your true voice, what I mean now. Be consistent. Use your social media.
What if that doesn't give you the breakthrough? Because being true to yourself and being it'll be a real struggle to the top, like you said. In the
then you forget.
So in the beginning, it can be a real struggle. And
yeah, but what I'm saying is, if they are going to be, you're not living your true life.
Because it's showbiz, it's a show, right? Before it's a business.
Hey, so, then that one day I can't relate. That one day I can't relate.
You know, do what will sell because it's a business and you want to sell.
And also, but that's not what I would do. I feel like if you have a great voice, like this is what I tell. I don't call myself a singer. Like I don't have like. Ima, do you agree? I'm not Celine Dion kind of singer or Adele. I never go out and call myself a singer. But there are people who have like pure singing talent. I always tell them, instead of using your social media and your credit to go around say, oh, help me, help me, help me. Make short videos of yourself singing. You can do covers of like big songs, global hits. Put it on social media. Use all the necessary hashtags. And just keep promoting it, as in sharing it to your friends and family. Me personally, I don't push my stuff on people. Everything has been organic. So if you like it, you share it. I just feel like that's what they should do and just keep going at it. Someone will definitely see them. Someone who is in a position to be a manager, someone who is passionate about the job will hold their hand and take them from media station to media station and then, help them get their stuff out there.
So your advice is be original.
I think so.
And before you can be original, you must know who you are. And that's a whole thing.
It's difficult, especially the pressures around societal pressures.
Especially because of our socialization.
It's not
We're raised to be a certain way and not to be ourselves.
Yeah, if you're not strong-willed, it's very difficult. I agree. It's very difficult.
But it will be. At some point, it happens to you. I always tell my younger friends that it happens to you. It usually happens at 30. By the time you're at 30, it will happen. You feel like, oh my God, okay, I need to stop, break, reflect, and figure out who am I? Who do I want to be? Exactly. Who are the people I need in my life? Yeah. Who are the people I need to take out of my life? It will happen to you. So if you are starting up in your 20s and you don't have it all figured out, you just keep going. By 30 it will happen. You wake up one day and you'll be like,
no matter what,
an aha moment. It will happen. Sister Derby is my guest today on Between Hours. How about, that time is going to activate the phone lines. But
please, Papi Kojo said the presenter is talking too much.
Oh. Which presenter?
I even wonder who the presenter is.
Hi, Papi Kojo. Shout going out to you. Thank you for watching us.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take your final words now, and then we'll say goodbye. Unfortunately, because we have to cross over to the United States of America.
That one I'm not part. You see the beginning when you asked the question, I couldn't answer.
To go and listen to what's happening as Trump gets out of Air Force One, which I'm told he doesn't want to get down.
You said I should make a song for him. It will be titled Trump's True.
Oh goodness. I did not hear that. I did not hear that.
It's biology.
Why? It's biology. I see. And why that?
Because that's what he deserves.
He deserves a what?
A song called Trump's True.
Really?
Yes.
I can't be.
Hey, Iba said True Move. True music. Yeah, the milk, the chocolate milk.
That's the milk. My producer says he's like, we should close.
Yeah. Oh.
He's making. It's biology. So the final words I will say goodbye.
Final words. Please, if you haven't listened to my EP, the African Mermaid EP, check it out because this year I'm promoting 2 of my songs, Time Be Money, which has Strongman and Eno Baroni, and also Atupa, which has Macho Rapper and Efia. So check that out. Keep yourself maxed up. Use your sanitizer, wash your hands, and also bath. Thank you. With that all.
The African Mermaid Sister has been my guest on the show today, and her word for all of us has been one from the start of the interview till now. Be original, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
Thank you.
Shouts going out to DJ Perfect, to Manuel Photography, who just came to surprise us in the studio.
Maybe it's his birthday. He might take this for now. It's
My
so
name is
on.
Na Ashoko. In a moment, we're going to cross over and watch and listen live to the inauguration of Joe Biden and the farewell goodbye ceremony for Donald Trump, who has a new song coming out from Sister Derby.
I'm in trouble.
Stay tuned to Stasi Radio 99.5. I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm hanging out with two truck drivers on the show. We have interesting tales and so much more. Do stay tuned.